Alright, boys and girls, this is Bunjamin Bok Choi. We are looking at some F124 footage here, though this should help you in other titles as well, as this isn't really about the game itself. What we're doing today is looking at one of the resources that I use to help get my lap times a little bit faster. And I know I'm not the fastest driver in the world, I'm still using the racing line assist, but this is just for some of the slower people, newer drivers that kind of want to get a little bit faster in the game and don't really know how to do it. So a couple pieces of software that you may need is like a recording device like a OBS, or I just use GeForce Experience to record my laps. I don't remember exactly what the app is called, but then I take my recorded laps, I get a recording of a faster driver. Today, as you can see, we're using Alessandro Finn, spelled exactly like that. Check out his YouTube channel, that's where I got this video from. And we went into, you can go into a program like DaVinci or something like that to help splice the videos together like this. And there's a bunch of free resources online. If you have any questions about that, just ask me in the comments section and I will try my best to help you out. But today we're going to be looking at a lap by Alessandro Finn, and our lap is on the left, Alessandro's on the right, and we're at Monza. Super easy track, only 11 corners here, and most of them are in chicanes, so it should be easy. We're going to be looking at our inputs: steering, brake, throttle, and just kind of taking a look at our racing lines to see how they differ and what we can do to get a little bit faster in the game. So without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at it. We're going to look at the corner complexes at full speed, and then we'll kind of slow it down afterwards to break it down a little bit. So here we go. Monza, turn 1, or first chicane anyway, turns 1 and 2. So not too dissimilar, but we will break it down now and you will see the differences a little bit. So let's go ahead and change the speed to 25%. And let's go ahead and start this again. Okay, so as you can see, let's go back. Okay, so here we are, and take a look at the 100 meter board here, and the brake is this little red bar here, throttle is the green bar, and as you can see, we are already on the brakes, and he has just jumped on the brakes. Oh boy, this is going to be a little annoying. Alright, so we are at full brakes right now, and he is only about maybe halfway up. I apologize for the quality of the video here, but yeah, he's closer to the 100 meter board than we are. I know the view on the car is a little bit different. He sits a little bit further back, so I had to zoom in a bit, but we are almost at full brakes already, and he is still just coming off throttle and just getting on brakes. And now he's at full brakes. And so let's go ahead and take a look at the corner itself. Now I tried to match up the apexes as much as possible, so this will help us out a little bit as well. And we have almost all 4 wheels off the track, just barely on the white line with our outside left, and he is only halfway on the curb here. So something I will keep in mind from now on is this first right-hander, don't take quite as much curb, and you'll see why. It kind of spits us out a little bit. As you can see, we kind of jump to the left of the track there. Let me see this. Just watch this. The car kind of jumps and understeers a little bit, and we go off a little bit wide. As you can see, yeah, you see that the tires are trying to turn, but the car is still going straight, and he has much better control over his car. And then we come to this left-hander here. We're just lagging a little bit behind. As you can see, he's already past the halfway mark, and we have just done it right now with the wheel at 90 degrees. So because we took too much curb on that first corner, we had to wait just a fraction of a moment longer than he did to turn in for this left-hander here, and he's a little bit further ahead as well. As you can see, his tires are almost already at this green part of the curb, while we're still a little bit behind. And then it looks like, does he take a lot of curb there? Yeah, again, he takes a little less curb, just the left tires here hitting the sausage curb, whereas with us, we're already past the sausage curb. And obviously, if your ride height isn't high enough, you will bottom out on the sausage curb there. So, yeah. Now, I will keep in mind, don't take quite so much curb in the first chicane there, as it's not the quickest way around the track. And then on exit here, he straightens out the car a lot quicker than we do. As you can see here, he's already straightened out and he's at full throttle. We are just about maybe 80%, 75% full throttle. And only now are we at full throttle. And look at the speed difference. He's at 118 and we're at 105, which means a heck of a lot. He's at 143 and we're at 127. I know it's only maybe a couple tenths or so, but then you carry that speed down the straight, so you want to try and straighten out the car as quick as possible and get flat out as fast as possible. Alright, so let's go back to full speed here, and then we'll take a look at the second chicane at full speed. So this is chicane number 2, and where he's, oh, let me pause this. So I've stopped this right where we both start applying brakes, and again, he's closer to the 100-meter board, and obviously he's further out on the track, whereas I like to kind of swing the car in a little bit, or swing the car out a little bit to hit the corner. He's already pretty much lined up with the side of the track here, or the white stripe on the track. Alright, so that is the second chicane at full speed. Let's go back and slow it down again. Okay, so let's go back. Okay, so again, we are I've got this lined up to where our apexes are lined up, so let's go ahead and take a look at the actual racing line here. So we do turn in a little bit earlier than he does. As you can see, we've already started drifting off to the left here at this before we hit this green part of the patch. So it goes green, white, red, white, green, white, red, and this is the same green part of the curb as this one right here. And he's still kind of off to the side of on the outside of the track, whereas we've already kind of started pulling in a little bit, and we've already got steering input into the car, whereas he's just started turning left. So let's go on to the apex here. And again, we take way more curb on the inside. He avoids the raised part of the inside curb here, whereas we are straddling the curb. So let's go ahead and take a look. And same issue again. I think we bottom out there, and the car kind of spits us. We're trying to turn left, but the car just the curb spits us straight back out. So we're in a little bit tight to the second corner here, whereas he gets a better exit out of that first corner of the chicane. And then again, we pretty much take this similarly, trying to avoid this sausage curb, or going over the sausage curb on the inside, and then just kind of straightening out for the next part of the track. So yeah, all the lines are looking similar there, or for the second part of the chicane anyway. Again, I needed to make a mental note, try to avoid more of the curb on that first left-hander, like Alessandro has, and that should give us a better exit, and the car won't kind of just keep going straight as we're trying to turn in. So this is the stuff that I'm thinking to myself in my mind. This is our fastest lap. I don't remember exactly what the time is, but we do improve on this 1:18.9. His is a 1:17.9, so we are 1 second slower than he is as of right now. So let's continue on. We'll go back to normal speed and take a look at the first Lesmo. Actually, you know what? I don't think I have a side-by-side since it's just one corner, so let's just keep it at 25% once we get into the first Lesmo. Okay, so here we are at the first Lesmo. It's going to be difficult here to kind of judge because he doesn't have the brake marker boards on the left-hand side in his video, and we do. So we're going to try and match this up as much as possible. And again, he sits a little bit further back in his view than we do, but as you can see, this green part of the board here matches up with this green part of the board here, and let's kind of see what the differences are. Alright, we both kind of started turning in, but he's a lot closer to this part of the track, this kind of like inroad here. We're a little bit further back still, so he does turn in a little bit further into the corner than we do. And you can see the steering input's almost the same, but he's attacking the curb a little bit better than we are. He's a lot closer to the curb. I mean, it's just a little bit different here. Let's see where we are when we hit the curb. Alright, so he almost hits the curb, whereas we don't even hit it until... yeah, we just missed the apex there. And this is pretty representative of what I generally do. I look through a bunch of laps to see like what's kind of a representative lap for me, and our quickest lap actually was. And you can see I think we actually gain a bit on our delta there. Yeah, we do. We gain a bit of on our delta, so this is actually a good first Lesmo for us. And we still miss the apex, whereas he kisses the apex of that first Lesmo there, and then it kind of spits us out. He's still tighter to the corner than we are, which will probably allow him to get onto the throttle a lot quicker. Let's go ahead and take a look at the throttle trace here. Yeah, see, he's already on throttle, whereas we're still kind of coasting here. And what you want to do is cut out as much of the coasting as possible, as his moments between applying brakes and getting on throttle will be a lot quicker than ours. We kind of coast a little bit longer than he does, and that's where he's gaining so much time. And it isn't until this point that we get onto the throttle, so he is saving a bunch of time through there. And this is a good Lesmo 1 for us, and it's still not that great. We do lose a little bit of time on the exit, but I think that was a pretty representative Lesmo 1 for us. So let's go ahead and take a look at Lesmo 2. So in my mind, get closer to the apex and you know, try to straighten out the car a little bit faster to get on throttle like Alessandro has. So let's go ahead, Lesmo 2, here we are. We'll slow it back down since we only have one video here. Alright, so let's go back a little bit. Again, he doesn't have the brake marker boards, but I don't think we do either here. So we'll just have to try and eye it as best as we can. And yeah, alright, so where does he start braking? We're pretty much braking. We'll use this little bush here as our reference here. And we start braking at pretty much the same spot. Inputs to the wheel. Let's see where we are on track. Is there a big difference? Yeah, he is pretty much on the white line here, whereas I always have issues with getting on the grass here, so I tend to try and stay off the white line as much as I can. But as you can see, he's not way further out, but further out enough to make a difference here in second Lesmo. Boy, this is taking a while. Let's start. Okay, so the input, because he's further outside on the track, you know, he doesn't have to put quite as much steering input in as we do. And let's see what the apex looks like. Again, we take way too much of the curb here, whereas he just gets on the painted part. And he's already at full throttle. Look at that. He's at full throttle already on the apex, and we are barely halfway with the throttle. He's feathering it a little bit, but as you can see his throttle trace, he's much more on the throttle pedal than we are. Here he's full, we are full as well, but take a look at his steering wheel. We have to counter steer a little bit because we were losing control of the car. But he's already straightened up, and he's much further off the track than we are. Again, because we're not consistent enough, I get a little bit too scared to go out wide and straighten out the car quicker than I can. So as you can see, he's pretty much almost on the white stripe here with his two right side tires, whereas we're straddling, we're right in the middle with our car here. So yeah, so again, there, mental note for me, don't take too much curb and try to push further off the track on exit to kind of save ourselves a little bit more lap time. So here we are at Ascari, and again, this is where we have applied the brakes, and he is a lot closer to the 50-meter board here than we are. As you can see, the 50-meter board is a little bit further off in the distance. You can see the start of the curb here is a little bit closer to his car when he starts braking, and we're a little bit further back. So let's go ahead and take a look at this at full speed. Let me go back a little bit. Alright, so let's take a look at Ascari full speed. It'll start up in a second here. And you can see he already hits that first apex a lot quicker than we do. So let's go ahead, slow it down, and then take a good look at this. Now I've tried to line it up to where we hit that first apex at the same time. So let's go. Alright, so what's the difference here? Oh my goodness, look at the difference here. Look at where this video starts. He's already at the he's at the 150-meter board. Or we've already passed the 150-meter board, and he was still behind the 150-meter board when this video started up. And then because he goes so much later on the brakes than we do, we hit the apex at the same exact time. As you can see, the apex looks a lot, or the corner looks a lot bigger on our screen than his because he brakes so much later than we do. And we're just coming off the brakes now, so is he, and we are at the apex already. So in this instance, he actually takes more curb at Ascari on the first corner here. Look at that. I think his front right wheel is off the track, and ours is straddling the white line here. So we're doing the opposite to what Alessandro is doing with the corners. We're taking too much curb where he's not taking a lot of curb, and where he's taking a lot of curb, we're not taking a lot of curb. So again, mental note here, take more curb at the first left-hander at Ascari. Let's see what it looks like as we go on to the right-hander here. He's a little bit further ahead, but as you can see at this point, his left-hand side tires are on the white line, and we are just to the left of the white line here. So a little bit more curb into the first left-hander, and then get more onto the white line in the right-hander here. So let's go ahead and take a look at this final left-hander. Again, he's already further ahead, and he kind of just takes it right down the middle of his car, hits the apex right down the middle of his car. I haven't had a lot of good luck with this curb here, so I tend to avoid it as much as I can. And as you can see, yeah, we barely hit the white stripe with our left side tires there. So yeah, a lot of things to change here. I know we're only a second off Alessandro, but we can save ourselves quite a bit of time by changing up just a little bit here or there at every corner. So let's go ahead and take a look at the final corner, Parabolica, and I just lined this up for you to see that we are pretty much at the same point on track here, and this white line is, I think it's pretty much equal for us here. So let's go ahead and we're just going to take a look at this at quarter speed. if it'll start up for us. Come on. Come on. Okay, there we go. Let's go back and start it up again. So let's try and find a reference here. You know, the end of the grass, the start of that concrete curb, the outside curb there, or is that like turf? I'm not quite sure what it is, but we're still right on the edge of the track here, where he's already kind of started turning in, and we just started turning in ourselves. And if we take a look at the okay. Sorry about this. Alright. Alright. Look how much brake we're applying here. Let's see if we can actually see how much brake he applies, or if he's applying brake yet. Let's see where he starts applying brake. Alright. Yeah, he's already turned in before he started applying the brakes, whereas we applied the brakes in a straight line before we start turning in. So here I think he just does better trail braking than we do. Such a quick corner. He's only at half the brakes, whereas we were full on the brakes while we were straight, and then we start trail braking from here on out. So again, another note here, try not to brake quite as much going into Parabolica. And as we pass under the Rolex sign, he is already on the curb, and I think we take a little bit later apex than he does. Do we ever hit the curb here? Kind of. Let's go back and take a look at that again. Look at where he hits the curb compared to where we do. Yeah, he hits the curb right here, just as the Rolex sign is going out of view on his screen, and we are still maybe a good meter and a half off the curb, and we don't ever hit the apex, whereas he pretty much hits the apex and sits on there under the Rolex sign. And yeah, we still got about half a meter to the outside, or to the inside of Parabolica there. And let's see, where does he get full throttle? So right here, he's already at full throttle as he passes this patch of grass, which is, I think it's the same as here. So he's already at full throttle here, or close to full throttle. We're still only feathering at about 50% here, and we miss the apex entirely. So that's, again, only now are we at full throttle, whereas he's already been full for a good maybe 10-15 meters already. And again, this will just add to your time down the straight. The longer you wait to get on the gas pedal, the more time you're going to lose. So just very little differences that add up to a second a full second between our lap times. I think he improves about half a tenth or so, and we improved by about a tenth, and he is still a full second ahead of us there. So yeah, boys and girls, again, I know this might seem like quite a lot, and you're gonna need to download some programs to help you with it, but this is pretty much what I do to help me improve my lap times, going through comparing my lap with a faster lap, seeing where my faults are, seeing what they're doing that I'm not doing, and trying to implement that into my laps when I do my practice runs. And as you can see, again, just very little differences, but those little differences add on hundredths of a second, tenths of a second, that ultimately add up to a full second. So boy, if you guys have any questions or on what I'm doing in this video, or need some more clarifications or anything like that, please feel free to ask me in the comment section. Again, I will try my best to answer those questions for you. Hope you guys enjoy, and if you think I've earned it, feel free to leave a like, comment, or subscribe. Stay tuned for more. Remember to eat bok choy. I'll see you all in the next one.